All right. Hello, everybody. This is Double Dot, aka SPN. In some circles, I'm known as Hybrid VA. And I have an album out, and there is a very particular track that I really enjoyed making, so I think today I would like to share how I sort of went about doing it. So it is a very sort of like a fake breakcore in a way. This is not gonna be edited much because I currently don't quite know how to do that. So the key thing here is my primary inspirations were Rain, formerly known as Purple by Chris Christodolo, featured in the Risk of Rain 2 soundtrack. From that, as an inspiration, I've taken organ and electric piano. The VSTs themselves that I used for that were, I'm pretty sure I used yes, so clean jazz organ from the Analog Lab with a little bit of a RIA sound and RIA EQ. These are just basically, I tried to make it a little bit more spatial, but you don't necessarily need to do that. And just a very light EQ to just give it a hump on the organ side of things. And for the electric piano side of things, let me see here. I'm pretty sure it is, yes, it is Arturias also stage 73. So I think the demos for these plugins are available for free, but a lot of the times when you buy small MIDI keyboards, it also comes with it, but you could just buy it standalone if you wish. They have quite a nice sounds. So together, bounce stems, they sound like this. Check this out. So as you can hear, they're roughly playing the same things. I'm pretty sure the MIDI data is a little bit copy-pasted. What I went ahead and did is kind of do like clusters are more on the right-hand side if you look at the piano. I know this is vertical over here, but if you look at the actual piano, the clusters are definitely on the right-hand side, while the notes that are more spread apart are going to be more on the left-hand side. So, next up will be to show what I did with the subs. The subs begin way later, along with the keys, and I have a very much peaking sub-bass layer. This is mainly for the chest feel of the bass, while we have the actual harmonic information of the bass provided at first in simple notes with the bass. Let me skip to the next part while I look for the VST that I used for this one. So this is just vitals dispersed grid. I don't think I much did anything aside from presets, but for the sub, we have just a regular basic shapes preset that is pretty much unaffected, but it has like legato and always gliding because I wanted to follow them together. So both of them together sound like this. As you can hear, it is definitely like more of a chest feeling sub, even though it's very loud, than the way a trap musician would do, like, or like a trap producer would do, like 808s. The 808s are definitely just like pitched far more. This one just has like a very slight glide, and mostly it's like you feel it in your chest, especially on like a big speaker setup. Next one up is gonna be two things in the effects tab over here. So this is also Analog Lab, which I think you can get Analog Lab Play for free from Arturia, and this is the Frenetic Flutters preset that looks like this, which I also did some surround panning and stuff like that, but it's called Frenetic Flutters, and I think I changed a very slight thing off of this, which might be I decreased the master or something else. I don't quite recall. The thing about frenetic flutters is that it is a granular synthesis, and I've inspected the sample that it uses, because I think it's the pigment version of Arturia that it uses, and the sample does a lot of random things after a short moment, and I kind of don't like that as much, so I only play very short stabs of chords with the frenetic flutters. Here's how that sounds. This is a lot of like ear candy and ear sugar, because I like it when the tracks can get a little bit busy with the sound information. I've also included a war horn sound, which is a good punctuation. Now, one of my favorite parts of this, we will get to the drums, but one of my favorite parts of this, which I find even more interesting than the drums, because well, actually, I will discuss drums right now. The drums are pretty much basically a loop. Um, so we have the default calling break, which eases in at every comment time. And then, of course, it just loops. I wish I did way more things with the drums, but in the published state, this is how it is. And as for the riser, a riser is also just a very simple riser. Kind of like flutters around like that. And what I did with the riser later is I do its primary function, but then I also use it immediately after, like a crash. I don't think it needs to be this clean, honestly, but it just came out really well. And then what I didn't really opt for, as you can see, is this sound. I wanted to add a little bit of field recording sound to it, but I think you will agree when I show you that this doesn't. Well, it can fit, it's just I don't think I liked it as much at the time, so let's keep that muted. Now, the far more interesting side of this is what I did with two of the ethnic instruments, which is Kalung and Yangchen. So, I will mute and solo Kalung first. As you can see, the MIDI data really just contains a couple of notes that are spaced apart, but they're not doing much. So, Kalung itself is, I'm pretty sure, a Balinese instrument, or like it hails from like Indonesia region. Kalung Sunda, I hope I am pronouncing that properly. If not, please correct me in the comments. But it says West Java, Indonesia. And it alone sounds very dry and very percussive, because these are the sticks that you hold up and hit them with small hand-carved wooden mallets. I'm using the Monster Ethica. So, first thought was to add reverb. This is a regular kilohertz reverb. I don't think I've changed a whole lot of things in the presets. Then I wanted to give it a more off-kilter look, so we are using kilohertz again, which their VSTs are free as far as I know, for the most part. Like the big bundle, I'm pretty sure it's free at all times, so go grab one if you don't already have it, because they have a very pleasant UI and they work just fine. So then we add the 16 over 9 or 9 over 16 triplet delay, which I wanted to add that off-kilter look by having like the ringing of it do kind of like a polymeter or polyrhythm with the original thing that was supposed to be played. So original thing is of course like in 3/4, but we're like subdividing that more, but also kind of like, I think it will make more sense if I just play it so you hear what I mean by this. Like it swings way harder now. So it's got this like off-kilter feel to it, and I really love that. And another thing, and I'm gonna mute this out because I have the stems bounced already, is Youngchin. So Youngchin is free on Contact, if I remember correctly. It's one of their libraries that you can download. They have very interesting sound to them, but essentially, by default, it would sound like this. As you can see, nothing changes because I'm literally only playing 2 notes. For this one, I was inspired by Burial's Archangel, as probably many of my peers would be. If you have not listened to Burial's Archangel, definitely give it a listen. It is one of the first dubstep tracks that got very popular, but it is before the growling side of dubstep got added to dubstep, if I remember correctly. Sorry for the tautology there. But here I am definitely experimenting with writing automation in Reaper. This is when I was learning that, as well as trying to make some glides, but not too many. Check this out. So you have some jumps, and in about 2 or 3 moments, it also just glides to it, which can easily be seen there. So some of the keen ears may have noticed that this sounds very robotic currently because of the very artificial type of pitch drift, as opposed to what probably a Youngchin player would do with probably the other hand, kind of like bouncing on the string. But because of the whole everything else in the track, I feel like it makes sense, and it pairs really well with the Kalunga. And then I would do not good not to forget, I have another layer over here, which is the piano stem. So piano is not actually a piano here, I know, but I basically wrote a different set of MIDI for this one. I thought I would like leave this in, but this sounds like this as a full thing. So, the funny things that I did here in terms of MIDI composition is that I was kind of playing around with the left hand rhythm. So, as you can see, this is pretty much like a samba, like dun 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 dun, like sort of samba-like rhythm. I think it's called the 3/2 clave. And then I'm implying a lot of like a baroque feel. I'm not necessarily doing a whole lot of tremolo, aside from like the. So there is some of that. It's not really fast tremolo, but it is there. And then it also has a little bit of a shanty type of mood to it. I like it when it like stacks in the end like that. So I definitely like chopped this up more to give it like a little bit of a reveal. I thought I would keep the full version of it in the track. Let me show the last one. Okay, there we go. I don't want to bug y'all. But I didn't think the full MIDI would feel quite fine for the most part, so I just stuck with what was supposed to be a build-up, but as like a full thing for its duration. And as for what I'm using for this, it is plugged string, which it seems that it just has an HVAC unit over here with a spread comb and a couple of envelopes to make it sort of plucky, and distortion and reverb, and some different macros that I don't think I even explored much. So, and it has something bound to the velocity, which I think it might be, uh, yeah, comb filter related. So it's a very interesting sound. So now I will let the full thing play, and if you want to listen to more of this as well as my any other works, I have a Bandcamp album, and you may choose to listen to that. I'm gonna put the link in the description. Um, don't bother with any of the interactables on my YouTube channel. I'm not really active in terms of posting. Um, so I will not be asking for any sort of engagement aside from just lending me your ears and eyes. That's pretty much it. And I will let the song kind of tell me out here, and hope I can show you more.